here with Roger Kittle. We're at our Friday Bible study. Roger has quite a ministry to Native Americans, I guess, which he'll explain in a minute. But Roger, tell us a little bit about your background, how you were brought up, what ultimately drew you into where you're spending your life right now.
Wow. Okay.
Big question.
Yeah, a big question. Yeah. Now, I grew up here in the Walker County, Catoosa County area here in Georgia, and in a little trailer park over here on Oak Street. And my family didn't go to church when I was younger, and I'm standing here today representing Jesus because of my grandmother, who came and got me, took me to church when I was 9 years old, and at age 10 I came to faith in Jesus, and God changed my life, and knew by the time I was 13 that God wanted me to be a preacher. And so anyway, a lot of things, hills and valleys. My dad died when I was 14 from alcoholism. He was only 42. And so anyway, those things were embedded in me, wanting to help and reach out to people struggling with addictions especially. But anyway,
you were brought up with that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I know what it does to families, and pastored several churches here in Georgia, and was at St. Elmo Avenue Baptist Church for 19 years before God led us out west to Farmington, New Mexico.
Now let us.
My wife, Carol.
Okay.
But we were turning 62. About the time God started messing with us. We were building what we thought was a retirement home down in Walker County, and that didn't work out so well. God said downsize and go. Next thing I know, we're connected with Navajo Ministries in Farmington, New Mexico, and we live on.
How did that happen? How did that?
Oh, brother, you don't have time for that story.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a long story, and I had never heard of Farmington, had never heard of Navajo Ministries, and through just various things of texting different people, all of a sudden we knew God wanted us to be there in Farmington. And went to visit 3 times, and knew the first time we saw the Farmington city limit sign that I literally turned to my wife. I said, "Did you feel that?" And she said, "We're home, aren't we?" And so I was thankful to God that my wife and I were on the same page, and there wasn't any struggle there at all with knowing that we were going to move someday. Didn't know when. It took about a year and a half before we finally made the move, and been there 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah, and God's blessing.
Ministering to the
Yes, sir. Navajo people there. Four Corners Home for Children is the property that we live on. It's 16 acres. Been in business since 1953, 72 years. Over 2,000 Navajo children have lived on that property, short term and long term, till they turn 18, and they try to help them get either into college or military, or help them, with some vocation. It's something that they can get, make a living.
How can people help your ministry?
Well, I tell you what, if you just pray, please pray for it, because it's a struggle, and these children have been abused in one way or another, drastically, and their parents may be in prison. Their parents may be dead. And a lot of times we find grandmothers that are raising grandchildren, 6, 8, 10 grandkids, and we try to encourage them if we can be a help, even short term, give you a little reprieve, and so we encourage people to do that. But if you go online and just Google Four Corners Home for Children in Farmington, New Mexico, you can see the website there, and there's some little videos and things that will help you understand.
And people can contribute.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they have a magazine that we print once a year, and then have actually a monthly prayer list that kind of tell you things you can be praying for daily, and they won't be calling you, dunning you for money or anything. They're just they appreciate the prayers, and we don't take any government money. So the school that we have on property there for the children is a Christian school, and we tell them about Jesus.
I love
it. And Annette Reich is the president of Navajo Ministries, Four Corners Home for Children, and her husband, Chuck Reich, is the director of Navajo Nation Outreach, and we're starting to, we have Celebrate Recovery on the property there every Tuesday evening, and seeing a lot of folks come. 20 to 30 people will be in that building that have struggled with drug and alcohol addictions. Some success stories of a year, 2 years, 5 years clean, and God's changing their lives.
Is it hard for, let's say, a Navajo to get out into the culture and get a job? Is it hard for them?
Well, there's kind of a hopeless feeling. Right where we live, in Farmington, we live a mile off of the reservation as the crow flies. And, there's kind of a thread of affluence because of the rivers that are there, and people can irrigate their land, what land they have, and they'll grow crops of, alfalfa wheat to feed the animals, and they have sheep or cattle, and they've got four-wheel drive trucks and things. But you go just a little bit away from the river, and it's extreme poverty. Some people don't have electricity. Some people don't have running water, and it's they have a college there. And if a Navajo young person wants to go to college, there's monies available through the Navajo Nation and things. But the difficulty is, if you live very far out on the reservation, you don't have transportation to take advantage of such things. Part of one of the things we're dealing with, when we first moved there's a lot of street people, and I thought they were homeless. Some of them are, I'm sure, but we're finding out that many of them are coming 10, 20, 30 miles off the reservation to come to Farmington, and they're sleeping in the bushes, and the reason is they can't buy alcohol on the reservation, and so they'll be in Farmington for a month, and they've got maybe a wife and kids and some sheep, and out on the reservation, a little hogan that they're living in, but they're there because of that. And I'm beginning to deal more and more with them. This trip back, we come back to the Chattanooga, North Georgia area every year, and usually are here for a month, and we like to speak at different churches and preach it as well, but we want people to learn about the Children's Home and come out there, and we have a lot of teams that'll do mission work and come and spend time with us. We can wear people out with different things that needs to be done. But one of the things that's happened, God put in my heart this trip. We've been here actually about 6 weeks this time, and one of the things God put in our heart had to do with dealing with men on the street. And we have bottles of water and food and stuff and clothes and shoes and things that we try to make available to the men that we deal with. And but God broke my heart this time. I got to a place where I was literally saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep feeding people and giving water and shoes and things until they die and go to hell. I want to see a difference in people's lives. And God put in our mind the next morning when I woke up, we saw this in our minds, just saw this shower trailer that I believe God was going to do. And have a restroom there and where they can take a shower, but then the back part of it be like a little restaurant cafe thing that they can sit on a porch outside, and we're going to not just hand them food and water and be on your way. We want you to sit down. I want to talk to you. Let's get to know one another. Tell me where you were born. You tell me your mom and dad's name, and just anything about themselves, because there's this sense that people look down at them. And some of the guys that I've dealt with have said, we've had white preachers come out here and in their suits and ties, and they kind of talk down at us. And as savages, and all. And anyway, when I go, I'm dressed like this, and we spend time at McDonald's early in the morning or somewhere just out, and they'll come on the property where we live. And so we're trying to deal with them more personally. And since we've came here, and I won't get into a long story, but God has given money for this trailer to be equipped, and a family out of Lafayette, Georgia, gave us a brand new 16-foot cargo trailer that had never been used for anything, and it's exactly the trailer that God put in our heart and mind before we ever came out here a few weeks ago. And so I'm looking forward to getting that back there and getting it prepared and ready to just spend time getting to know these men and let them know, hey, somebody cares about it. That man I'm talking to, that's somebody's son. Right. And created in the image of God. Yes. And we just want to care about them.
Are you seeing people receptive to the gospel?
Yes. I actually pastored a little Navajo church for the first 5 years that we were there, and saw and got to know more Navajo families that probably wouldn't have got to know had I not pastored that church, and individuals. And one man my age came to faith in Jesus after just sitting there for 2 years. And he was a traditional Navajo person, had their own beliefs, and spirits and all these things. But he came to faith in Jesus, and his testimony was, you know what, I'm a follower of the one true Creator God and His Son Jesus, who died for my sins. And I add to that, and rose again from the dead on the third day. But anyway, so that the gospel that we were learning about even this morning in our teaching time here, in Bible study, and that's the hope of the world. We can't change the politics. I mean, there's a lot of things, that our government continues to do against every tribe of people here in this nation, and I can't change that, but God said, you go, and one life at a time will come to know me. And that's eternal change right there. It is.
How many would you say are in the reservation?
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's the largest reservation in America. It's the size of the state of West Virginia. Wow. Two-thirds of it is in Arizona, and about a third of it is in New Mexico, where we live. And then there's a little sliver up into Utah. It's got to be at least 200,000 people probably that live there. There's over 500 churches. One of the things that Chuck Reich through Navajo Nation Outreach is trying to do is to meet every one of those pastors. And the ones he's meeting are their greatest need is they're as old as I am and older, and their greatest fear is who's going to take over this church. And so, so there's not a great opportunities for, Bible training. And so Chuck Reich and Navajo Nation Outreach from the children's home there are trying to come up with ways of being able to create an education program for the younger people, a Bible education, where that they can take over these churches someday. Yeah. And so he's trying to get around to meet every one of those pastors, and I say, God bless you, brother, because that's a big undertaking. Yeah. But God's blessing, and those things are happening, and we're just excited. If anybody wants to get involved with that, number one, please pray for Four Corners Home for Children and Navajo Nation Outreach and the things that God's doing there.
And that website will allow
that'll help them see that. And if you're going we're 6 hours from the Grand Canyon, about 2+ hours from Monument Valley. If you know John Wayne movies, you've seen all those rock formations. But you just come out and let us know you're coming. We'll give you a tour of the property. There's 16 acres of property. We have a mom's program that's just getting started. It's not just children there, but we have, if a single mom with children just needs a place to live and get back on her feet, we're there with staffing to help with her kids and help her, find a job and do those kind of things. And God's blessing that. It's amazing. Brother,
yeah. In a few weeks, I'm going to St. George, Utah for the Huntsman World Masters game. Okay. Yeah. That's not too far.
Not too far. No, sir. Yeah. Rent a car and come down and see us. That'd be awesome.
I'll have my RV.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. That'd be great. Absolutely.
Well, anything else you want to tell that audience about your ministry?
Yeah.
I know you've emphasized that you believe in prayer.
Oh, absolutely.
And they come to that website to help financially.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe even,
sure. Yeah, whatever God puts in your heart. Even out here, I've never asked anybody for a dime. but God puts it in people's hearts to do things, and if there's a need, sometimes folks will send me money personally, and I look at my wife when that comes in, and I say, somebody must need something. And so anyway, God has blessed us in many ways. My wife, Carol, does art classes with the kids, and I play guitar, and we teach them baritone ukulele. And God blessed, some folks sent some money, and we bought baritone ukuleles for all the children at the children's home, and we teach them. And anyway, it's just I tell you, go on the website and see these kids, and I tell you, it broke our hearts the first time we went there. We left saying, you know what, we left with these children's fingerprints on our heart, and God brought us back, and now we get to be there with them, firsthand. But yeah, just come out to look, and if you're going on vacation, call and let us know you're coming, and stop by, stay a day or two. We got a couple little places there folks could stay, and it's just a really amazing ministry. For 72 years, God's been doing this, and the year I was born, 1953. So.
Well, thank you so much. Any other last comment?
Oh, just, you know what? The Lord's coming back soon, and whatever we do, we need to be about our Father's business, and we just keep praying His kingdom come and His will be done. Amen, brother.
Amen. Thank you so much. We want to thank you for watching RedefiningAging.us. I'm John District, your host, and our goal for the series is pretty simple. We just want to enhance the quality of people's lives. So if you know of an event that you think would be one for good for us to cover, please fill out the form on our website, and not only the event and what it is, where it is, when it is, and if there's a person you know that you think would be a good person for us to do a testimony on in some event, please let us know. And if you want a fuller description of my testimony, you can either go to johndistrict.com and look under ministry, or you can go here at redefiningaging.us. We appreciate your viewership. God bless, and hope to see you on more shows.